Shady dealings and shenanigans. It's all about internet marketing done in unethical ways. And it's episode 53 of the Top 5 Scope. Joel Comm, your host on this beautiful sunny day in Denver, Colorado. And I'm glad you're here, people joining us live across the spectrum on Periscope, MeVe, and Facebook Live. And for those of you watching the replay, welcome to you as well. This is a topic that I've danced in the circle a little bit over the years. I've shared some of the things that frustrate me in the internet marketing world, and I thought before I write a blog entry, which I'm probably going to submit to either Inc.com or Entrepreneur.com, I wanted to talk it through a little bit and share some of these things with you that may not be what you think they are in the internet marketing world. So episode 53 of the Top 5 Scope are the top 5 unethical marketing tricks. Now, of course, there's more tricks that you can do. I'm glad to see Chris Record here. Welcome, Chris. There's all kinds of shenanigans going on out there, but I want to talk in particular about 5 things that are done in the marketing space that may not be what you think they are. Okay, let's get started with number 1. Buying ratings and reviews. Listen, gang, there's nothing wrong with inviting your friends to go review your podcast, to review your book on Amazon, and to ask them for honest, open reviews. Don't go asking for 5-star reviews. Tell your friends, hey, if you're willing to review this, send them a copy of the PDF, send them to your podcast, and say, please go review my stuff. That's great. Pulling from the pool of people who already like, know, and trust you, that's fantastic. But buying reviews is just wrong. It's unethical. Do not use Fiverr to go buy reviews for your new iTunes podcast. Do not go on Elance and find somebody that's got a tribe of 100 people to go and rate your book on Amazon. It's unethical. It's wrong. Don't buy reviews. Come about them the honest and integrous way. Don't do it. And people say they would never even think of doing it, but you'd be amazed how many do. That's number 1, what not to do. Number 2, buying followers. Oh, I just pushed a button for somebody right there. Buying followers. What does buying followers looks like? It looks like going to Fiverr, Elance, or any of the services that are going to send you numbers of people from accounts that aren't live. They're not real people. They're there purely to inflate numbers, to make you look like you have more followers, when in actuality, they're not real followers. They're fake. Now, here's how you know if somebody has got real followers or not. TwitterAudit.com. If you don't know it, go there, put in any Twitter username, and it does a random sampling up to 5,000 people. If you have less than 5,000, it'll sample everybody. But if you have more than 5,000, it'll sample them and tell you what percentage of your followers are real versus fake. Now, I've got 250,000 Twitter followers, and if you go look at TwitterAudit.com and put @JoelComm in, I bet I come up at 98 or 99% real followers, real people. Buying fake followers, no bueno, don't do it. It just makes you look bad, especially when you've got all these followers and you tweet and nobody engages, nobody interacts. Stop trying to make yourself look like you've got a big following when in actuality you've just dished out $5 here for 1,000 and $5 there for 1,000, and their accounts in India, they're eggs. They're not real people. Don't do it. Number 2, unethical marketing trick, buying followers. Now that said, there's no reason you can't acquire more followers by following other people. Real people. Follow real people, and a percentage of them are going to follow you back. So there's that. Okay, that's number 2. Let's see here in my notes. Number 3. This is also going to get under somebody's craw. And I discovered how this is done recently, and I don't know that it's unethical. Here, let me just explain it. Number 3 is the new and noteworthy in iTunes. Gang, I have a rude awakening for you. There's nothing to getting new and noteworthy in iTunes. Put up a new podcast and have some followers, and as long as your cover image looks good, you're going to get new and noteworthy in your category. But when we go out there and say, I'm new and noteworthy, Apple loves me, iTunes loves me, no, sorry, everybody gets it. It's not a big deal. Okay, that's not really unethical, but trying to make more of it than it is, I think is kind of, it's not. All right, speaking of making more of it than it is, this one is really going to hack off some people, and I think it's worthy of an in-depth piece that I want to write, and it kind of exposes the book industry. The book industry is kind of like a good old boys club. For those of you who are authors, you may have dabbled in it a little bit. And boy, I can get on the New York Times and talk about all that, but I'm not going to do that today. What I am going to do is I'm going to talk about what it means to be a bestseller. Number 4 in my list of unethical marketing tricks is the idea that you can become an instant bestseller. And here's what's made it so that everybody and their grandmother and their dog is now a bestseller. Amazon. Amazon has done this to us. Now, I love Amazon. Amazon has gotten more of my money, boy, since 1996 than anybody. I think countless thousands. They're always sending me stuff. I love Amazon, and I love distributing my books through Amazon, my ebooks and my physical books. But here's the deal. Anybody can become an Amazon bestseller by selling 10 books during the middle of the night in any category. In fact, Amazon lists your books as a bestseller not only in a category, but in subcategories, in subcategories, in subcategories, and subcategories, all the way down. And in every subcategory, they have a list of the Hot 100 that they say are the best, top 100 best sellers in that subcategory. For example, I could have, my book could be in business and in the subcategory of marketing, in the subcategory of social media, in the subcategory of Twitter. And if my book is number 100 in that subcategory, Amazon.com says I'm a bestseller. Think about that for a moment. The truth is that by having 10 people buy a book at an unpopular hour in the same period of time, you'll hit that. I can get anybody on a bestseller list on Amazon without even thinking about it. Okay? Amazon has destroyed what best-selling author means because everybody can be an Amazon bestseller. I'm being asked a question, am I an Amazon bestseller or New York Times? I'm a New York Times bestselling author and a Business Week bestselling author. My books actually sold, and I actually hit with the AdSense code in 2006, number 3 on all of Amazon.com. That's what a bestseller looks like, real book sales. So when you see somebody saying that they are a best-selling author, it doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. We've got to bring the definition of what bestseller means back to actually having substance. And my friends who have a best-selling book in one of these categories, I love you and I appreciate it, but this is just the truth about what the bestseller program really means. Okay, so number 4, which I consider, see, maybe unethical is not the word, questionable, gray area. And it's true that most people don't know this, which is why I want to write a little bit more about the book industry. I want to write about paid placement. I want to write about the New York Times bestseller list and how it's actually a very arbitrary thing. It's not what you think it is. But that's another Periscope and Facebook Live for another time. Okay, so let's do number 5. The number 5 unethical marketing trick. And this one is outright unethical. Are you ready? Paid media press releases. How many times have you gone to somebody's website and you see all these logos for media as seen on CNN and Yahoo and CNBC and on Google News and Fox and yada, 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 all these places, right? Most of the time, that does not mean those people actually appeared on those media outlets. It doesn't mean they were interviewed on TV. It doesn't mean that those publications wrote about them. What it means is that they created a press release that was then distributed through the press release services to those very outlets. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that Fox News or CNN or any of the publications actually gave any attention to that person or their product or their service. And it's wrong. When you see a bunch of logos on somebody's LinkedIn profile, if they've got to put it out there like that, the odds are it's not real. Okay, if you go to my website, on one of my blog pages, you're going to see that I've got credentials for the places my products, my services, or my training or whatever have appeared. And any of those links are because either I was interviewed, the story was about me, I was on the TV show, whatever. But paid media press releases are not appearances on the media. So for those that aren't tracking with me, there are people out there that will position you as famous by distributing a press release that hits these various media sources. And because your press release has showed up on CNN.com, they then feel they have the right to say, as seen on CNN. Gang, it's not true, it's not real, it's unethical, and anybody who says that they are seen on a major media source, they better link to that source. I can't remember on joelcomm.com if it's my entrepreneur page, which one it is, but it's one of the main links on my page, and down at the bottom you'll see as seen on Rolling Stone, Wired Magazine, CNN, Fox, and each and every one of them has proof that links to the location where I was talked about or my product was talked about. You know, it might have been a review of one of my books. It might have been a story about iFart. You know, if I say as seen on the Daily Show, it's because I was on the Daily Show. And it lowers the credibility of those in the marketplace when they say they were listed on a major media source when they actually weren't. Ooh, I'm on a roll today. So there you go. Top 5 unethical or at least gray area marketing tricks. And they include, number 1, buying ratings and reviews. Number 2, buying followers. Number 3, thinking that being new and noteworthy on iTunes really means something. Number 4, the becoming an instant bestseller on Amazon.com. It doesn't mean anything. And number 5, paid media press releases. Bogus, no bueno. And when you see somebody using them, if they're a friend, lovingly, gently pull them aside and say, you know, are you really a bestseller? Your book might be fabulous, you might be awesome, but just because Amazon says you're a bestseller, being ranked 100,000 overall has never been a bestseller by anybody's estimates. And if they're buying press releases, there's nothing wrong with doing press releases and getting distribution. Do it. Absolutely do it. I'm a huge fan of press releases. But don't put on your website that just because somewhere on a major media site your press release showed up, don't say as seen on that site. It's bogus. Don't do it. I am on fire. I am on fire! Channeling a little John Lee Dumas here today. So there you go. There's today's Top 5 Scope. Appreciate y'all watching. This was episode number 53. Top 5 Scopes are uploaded to iTunes, to my YouTube channel, and to my blog at joelcomm.com, so you can pick up on previous episodes. And of course, Snapchat me. I am having so much freaking fun with Snapchat. Those of you that are following Snapchat will see that what I'm doing there today is totally different than what I'm doing here. But at Joel Comm, follow me, snap me. It'll be a super happy, fun time. I'm glad you like the shirt. This is a shirt, Peace Be Unto Us, that was created by my friend Adam Helway And Adam, after the recent terrorist attacks, is actually a Muslim, and he said, I don't represent the crazies out there, the terrorists. I'm a peace-loving person. He had these shirts made, and so I'm representing Adam today. Maybe somebody screen capture this and send it to Adam. Peace, baby. And thanks for joining me today. Down Periscope.